This episode contains spoilers ? For Among Us. I like our now recording message.
Now recording.
Now recording.
Yeah, that's on the recording as well. Now recording.
Oh, Joey, how you doing?
Good. I'm very good. We just saw our brethren from another Methrin Slade.
Well, it's amazing.
Do
there
not
he is.
say War Slade. I've
Yeah,
already told you off on a different pod about this. He's looking very sexy, isn't he?
He's looking trim. He's looking proper.
Yeah, he's very sexy indeed.
I'd kiss him on the mouth. Don't know about you.
Can we cut that out?
I'll beef it. Yeah. That way.
You know when you say something and you think, in the moment you think this will be really funny, and then you begin to say it and you think this could cost me a friendship.
Or enhance it.
Well, yeah.
That's what your charisma stats for.
Not in this game, Tim.
No. Not in
this game.
Not in this game. We're here to talk about Among Us, but can you do a spoiler warning for this game? Is that a thing?
Well, there are TV series and films.
Featuring Arizona.
So, for context, literally just before we started this recording, I searched Among Us the movie in IMDb, and it is a real thing.
The photos, it's a real thing.
It's apparently a 2-hour film, Tim.
But with no trailer or anything, came out in 2020, and there's only 3 pictures. One of them is a laughing bubble. One of them is just a picture of the desert with the words "Man, I hate living in Arizona" written on it. And the next one is a shrimp on fire dunking a basketball over a shark.
So it was directed by someone called Cat Foundation.
The Cat Foundation?
No, just Cat Foundation, not the. And their previous work includes Chicken of Judgment 7, Crow of Judgment, The Chicken of Judgment 2, Among Us 5, Among Us 6, Among Us 3, Among Us 2, and Among Us. There are some missing numbers there, Tim.
There are some missing numbers there.
And then Caught the Imposter, Among Us 2. There's already an Among Us 2. This is a hot mess.
It's got more lore than FNAF.
Don't know if I agree on that, Tim.
No.
How are you? And sorry, I never asked you. How are you, Tim?
Yeah, all right. I just got done looking at the Among Us Wikipedia page because I had to Google Among Us lore, and now my search history is tainted.
Your filthy, filthy computer.
I'm going to need to scrub it.
Burn it.
Yeah, and just set it on fire. I've had to buy new thermal paste, and I made an error, and now it's not arriving until next week.
Oh, so what's happening? You just getting toasty legs still, man?
Yeah, just keep my legs warm, keep the heating bill down, but the electric way up.
I did that fairly recently, and it dropped the temperature of one of the games we were playing by 20 degrees, and I didn't know whether I felt clever for doing it or stupid for leaving it for so long, because my PC is on the opposite side of the room to the window, and honestly I think if it was near the window I'd just open the window and be like, have at it.
Have you ever seen the subreddit battle stations?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. There's one on there that really sticks out to me, and it's just called Maximum Airflow, and he's built a PC inside of a bird cage.
That's good. That's good. I like it. There's a guy on YouTube that I like, who basically spends his whole time building weird and wonderful PCs, and the best one he did was a liquid-cooled PC. Unfortunately, the liquid wasn't the water used, but he built it inside the tank of his toilet so that he could play CSGO while he was going for a shit.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I did see a video a little while ago of some guys testing what else you could use in place of thermal paste.
Right.
And I think the thing they landed on was mustard is the best replacement for it, but definitely don't do mustard.
Because it smells so good for such a long time afterwards.
It would cook.
Yummy, yummy.
I'm just looking through some of the stuff on shitty battle stations, and it is a marvel. Hang on.
Speaking of Marvel, Tim.
Yeah.
Today Jack started saying hello Spider-Man, and I don't know where it is because I've never had anything to do with Spider-Man with him.
That's unusual.
He just started going, hello Spider-Man. I was like, okay, cool. Well, let's do that then.
Got that from somewhere. I did finish Spider-Man Miles Morales last night on PS5.
Really?
Do you know the first Spider-Man game? The first Insomniac Spider-Man game, because Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2 is peak gaming.
No, actually, what's the one with all the really funny death cutscenes?
That's the Amazing Spider-Man on the Xbox 360 with the QTE death scenes. That's pretty amazing. But Insomniac's Spider-Man, when it first came out on the PS4, I picked it up on launch weekend, and I must have played it for about 20 hours in a weekend. And I thought, this is amazing. This is brilliant. This is exactly what I want from a Spider-Man game. And then I never touched it again.
Yeah, I did exactly the same thing on Steam.
But the thing is, with Steam, it works, for me at the very least, it works really well because of the portability of the Steam Deck. Like, it's a very good way to do it. I played Miles Morales on PS5. I had a great time with it. I got through the story in maybe 2 days.
Right.
Like, it's a shorter story, but I feel like they really enhanced a lot of the mechanics that made the first Spider-Man really good, and I'm definitely going to be picking up Spider-Man 2.
I think I was just about to say you should branch out and do Spider-Man 2 because I think it's meant to be much better.
It's, from what I hear, it's incredible, especially from that guy who was screaming at it when Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year. I don't know if you've seen that clip.
No, but I can imagine.
I think a massive man-child.
There is something about, and Tim, I'm sorry, I know you are one of them, PlayStation 5 fanboys. I know you're not like a typical fanboy, but there's something about, and I'm not limiting this to PlayStation 5, I think Xbox as well has those fanboys that just like, they feel like it's personal when someone says that something is better than the thing they have.
Well, it's because they've sunk money into and for a console that was exclusive for a very long time.
I just don't get it. Like, I follow. So I have said for a long time, if I had to choose between the two, I would go for Xbox. I've always gone for Xbox, but I follow Xbox because they share Game Pass stuff, and I can see what games I can get for free. But under every single post, there is someone saying PlayStation better. And it's like, I think you might need to just get outside and touch grass, mate.
I'm just looking to see if I can find the one video of this guy, because it is quite a marvel to see this guy just fucking melt down. He's like, no one even played Baldur's Gate. And like, if you look at the concurrent Steam numbers,
no one played Baldur's Gate.
Here, let's go! And the game of the year is... We all know what it is. Come on. Tell me. Baldur's Gate 3. No! 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 It's Spider-Man! It's Spider-Man! It's Spider-Man! Bro, be serious right now, it's Spider-Man! Bro, tell me right now, have you ever played Baldur's Gate 3?
Like, when Baldur's Gate was out, 500,000 people on it was a low number.
Yeah, that's no one though.
That's no one. That's not including the PlayStation numbers, but no one played it.
No one
Baldur's Gate. Wow.
Still didn't get past Act 1, Tim.
Oh, but it's phenomenal. Like, even the first act is phenomenal.
It was really good. I very much enjoyed it, and I will go back to it. I'm not good at Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Should we get into the episode?
Let's get into the spooky episode.
This episode contains spoilers, for Among Us.
Can you patch in the Among Us?
Yeah, I can do that.
Among Us. Just deep fry your own voice there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll work out to that, not an issue.
You sussy imposter.
I'm a sussy little backer. Welcome to Game Club Pod, a podcast where myself, Wembembo, and my co-host this time, Joey Fitz. Normally Slade is here, but he is on vacation. Get together once every 2 weeks to discuss video games, not too dissimilar from a book club. I'm at Wembembo and everything, as I'm sure you're aware, including my billboard. Joey, how are you doing?
I'd forgotten about the billboard. Why am I calling you?
I know you're calling me on WhatsApp.
I just can't get enough of you.
I needed 2 channels.
I'm okay, thank you. These mainline shows, I forget how much I enjoy doing them because we do like 2 or 3 at a time, and then that's us done for the month.
Yeah.
When you started doing all your plugs, I was like, oh, Tim sounds very serious today. I wonder if everything's okay. But it's just because that's what we do on the mainline.
Well, yeah, it's a little more uniform, but I also really like the fact that stupid shit from our other podcast just tends to bleed in a bit.
So if I wanted to do plugs, I would say listen to Casting Views and listen to Talking Smack, as well as everyone else in the pod pack before you decide to listen to our podcast.
Fair enough. Well, we normally would have a third host, Slade, as I say, he's on vacation at the minute. So we've done something a little bit different for this episode, and we got together with a lot of the guys from the Podpack Collective, plus some of the guys from our Discord, to play a big game of Among Us. So there's going to be a little bit of a round table in this episode. It's going to be very exciting and very, very fun for me to edit somewhere in the mark of 11 layers of audio.
The most guests we've ever had at once, Tim.
Yeah, hey, do you guys like guest episodes? How about all of them at the same time? All of them
in one.
Yeah, so we had Jim from Cast of Roll. We had one of our Discord users, Chris. We had Dan from Casting Views. We had Pete from the Anime Corner. We had Joey, of course. We had Luke from the Nostalgic Pod. We've got the Northern Boy, Satsunami from Chat Tsunami. We've got Skylar from the Anime Corner. We've got Toast Robotic Battle Toaster, I think. Toaster, that's the one. The Twitch streamer and myself all in for a couple of hours of Among Us, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Gaming question of the episode, I suppose.
Game question of the week. Dun, 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 dun.
I was I'm just gonna sidestep for a minute here. You know our outro for Two Blokes from Bioware is like dun dun dun. I was listening to that the other day and I was like, that's the exact same rhythm as that Star-Gone Trent meme.
Do you listen past the music?
I do. I've been noticing the post-credit stuff lately.
Good. It's just some of the dumb shit I've cut out.
So, gaming question of the week. Joey, what is your favourite party game?
Among Us.
Is actually.
It's definitely up there.
Among Us is a really good one.
I really like Among Us. I think Jackbox can be fun if you're in the right mood, but I do find that Among Us, it's just very easy to get everyone involved and get annoyed, and you get water cooler moments, and I think it's great. It depends, though. I think if you're going to do in person, I think you can't look past Nintendo. I think Mario Kart, Mario Party are both brilliant party games in person. But if you're online, I know that not everyone will agree, but I just think Among Us is always a winner.
Yeah. Among Us is one of these late night Discord games, which is fun. I was going to say Mario Kart is probably up there. Smash Brothers is also up there for me. I really like a lot of the Jackbox stuff as well. I've also been really enjoying Ultimate Chicken Horse lately.
Oh, yes, that's such good fun.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what that is for our audience who don't know?
Yeah, so Ultimate Chicken Horse is a game about f***ing over your friends, where essentially it's a multiplayer platformer where your goal is to get from the start of the level to the end of the level. The level layout is always the same, but the fun gimmick is that you, the players, get to place the obstacles on this obstacle course. You get points for finishing the course first. You get points for killing your friends. You get points for being the underdog and making a bit of a comeback. And it's just about making the most chaotic obstacle course you possibly can while still making it completable and outskilling your friends. It's a great time.
I agree. Fantastic time.
Yeah. But let's talk about Among Us. So, Among Us, and this is a quick summary from the Googles. Among Us is a 2018 online multiplayer social deduction game developed and published by American game studio Inner Sloth. The game is cross-platform. It was released on iOS and Android first devices in June 2018 and on Windows later in November that year, then eventually coming to consoles at some point. To go through the full list of things that it's available on: Android, iOS, Windows, Steam, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. It is a, as I say, social deduction party multiplayer online game. It's done very well in the scores and reviews. So to quickly rattle through this, we've got the App Store gave it a 4.1 out of 5. Google Play's got a 3.8 out of 5. 9 out of 10 on Steam. Metacritic's got a PC review of 85 out of 100. Switch 79 out of 100. 4Players gave it a 68 out of 100. Game Informer 8 out of 10. IGN 9 out of 10. Nintendo Life 8 out of 10. PC Mag 4 out of 5. Push Square a 7 out of 10. It's been nominated for a bunch of awards. It's won a bunch of awards. So it was nominated for the Steam Awards 2020 for Labour of Love Award, as well as the British Academy of Game Awards for the Best Evolving Game. On top of that, it also won the Golden Joystick Awards 2020 for Breakthrough, the Game Awards 2020 for Best Mobile Game and Best Multiplayer Game. It was the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards for Favorite Video Game. It won the Webby Award for the Breakout Game of the Year. It won the Best Indie Developer at the Mobile Games Awards. It won the Best Community Management at the International Game Developers Association, and it won an award on the App Store Awards called the Connections Award. It's pretty f***ing revered, this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Immediate thoughts with Joey.
I really have very fond thoughts of Among Us. I think it can be a bit of a mess. I think it can be a chaotic, infuriating time. But spoiler alert for the roundtable, one of the questions we spoke about was, why do we think Among Us was so popular? And for me, what I think no one spoke about was the timing of Among Us getting popular was with COVID.
Yeah.
So I think people were looking for a way to socialize with 7 or 8 people at once. And this game really made that very easy. It's free on Android and iOS. You can pay to upgrade to remove the ads, but it's free. It's on Game Pass. I know that was a little bit after COVID, but the price point of it is like £3 or $4 or $5 tops on Steam. And that's when it's not in the sale, which it quite often is. I think that it's just a really solid game with fun mechanics and no story, which makes it probably quite difficult for you to speak about. But also it allows people to make their own narrative. So I had a group of people that I used to play with during COVID, and there was one person who I'd never met in person, and I only met during these Among Us sessions, but I became good friends with him. But my shtick was, whether I was imposter or not, I would stick to him like glue and just annoy him for the whole round. And he thought it was really funny, I hope, and I thought it was really funny. But because there was no set way to play, I could do that, and people could accuse me of following him around for entire rounds, or accuse me of killing him when he disappeared off the map for no reason because I'd spent the last 3 rounds following him, or I just think that I would struggle to find another party game that has this level of complexity displayed in such a simple and accessible manner. Yeah, very, very good Among Us.
So for me, it's a really good exercise in lying to your friends.
Yeah, it's a good way to ruin friendships.
Yeah, not in the same way Mario Party does, where you want to like hurl the controller at someone, but like the kind of way where you might build up a trust with someone over several rounds and then only to stab them in the back as they're about to complete a task that takes several minutes at a time, else you start over. But it's a great way of, sowing a lot of seeds of mistrust. And so we should probably get into the mechanics of it to really give this a proper framework. As Joey mentioned, there's no story, but the core basis of it is you and 7 other friends are on a ship. There is between 1 and 3 imposters of your crewmates on the ship. So they look like regular people, but they're out there to kill everyone else. If the imposters kill everyone, the imposters win. If the crewmates complete all their tasks, the players win, or if the crewmates vote the imposters off the ship, which they can do so in emergency meetings or after finding a body on the floor, then the crewmates win. It's a lot like Trouble in Terrorist Town and Gary's mod, or even going further back to Town of Salem, if you remember that.
No, it's based on a game called Mafia, isn't it?
Kind of. I think Town of Salem came first. It's between Mafia and Town of Salem.
Right.
So the very fun thing about this game, I find more than anything, is because everyone wants to be the imposter. They want to be the sneaky guy who outwitted everyone in the lobby.
I think people wanted to be the imposter and then realized how much pressure it is. It's
a lot of
really
pressure.
hard being the imposter.
It is, but that's part of the challenge. And there's a lot of deception and sowing a lot of seeds of doubt, as I say, and just lying in interrogations with people.
Yeah.
So for example, what you may do is you may follow someone around on a ship for a little bit to almost clear your name while you're pretending to do jobs, and then you'll go off to a different part of the ship and just kill someone else, and then that person who you were originally with was like, no, they had every chance to kill me, I don't think it's them. There's lots of little deception tactics in this, and what's interesting is I think the main central mechanic of this game doesn't come from the developers, it comes from the players. Which is a really unique position, certainly for anything we played on Game Club Pod.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think, like I said, you can play this how you want to play it, and I think that shows as well, because it's one of those games that you see. So please forgive the very thin line of comparison, but the developers are a little bit like Bethesda. When they see a mod that works and looks really good in their game, they approach the mod maker and ask if they can include it in the game. So a good example is the hide and seek mode, where crewmates have full vision and the imposter has next to no vision but is severely quicker than the crewmates. So you basically have to hide and run away from the imposter. And there are so many really easy to use mods for Among Us, like, I don't know, you can add loads of different roles. So a good one is the jester, and that's someone who they're not on the side of the players or the imposter. Their job is to get voted out, and if they get voted out, the game ends and they win, which I really like. I think the other thing that this game is so good at, and the reason I think it thrived during COVID lockdowns, was it's so easy to get connected across platform.
Yeah, its cross-compatibility is brilliant.
I used to play with people who played it on Switch, Xbox, PC, and mobile all at the same time.
Yeah,
and it was flawless.
It felt like when Rocket League first went full crossplay.
Yeah, except for that's limited, I think, to 6 people, right?
Maybe 8. I don't know what Rocket League does these days. I've not been on in a long time.
But Among Us has lobbies up to 15 people.
Yeah,
which I think would be chaos personally, but it does allow you to play those huge numbers and have some quite big memorable games.
Yeah. So we mentioned that the imposter's job is to kill people. Now, there's a number of ways that they can do that. They can obviously single out individual targets and kill them, and then hide an event, and then go. The event effectively acts as fast travel. So to different connected events. So the imposter, if they're being accused, they can be like, "No, I was in a different room." But the imposter can also sabotage a bunch of things on the maps to make the crew almost abandon what they're doing. So you can pick off any stragglers. Like the one that immediately comes to mind is the oxygen tank on the spaceship level. I forget what it's called, the Skeld or something like that.
The Skeld, yeah.
Yeah. So there's 2 panels that need to be activated in order to reactivate the oxygen that's been turned off by the imposter. And that means someone or multiple people, depending on how they play it, have to split off from the main group to go and divide and get both panels activated at the same time, or everyone dies.
Yeah, and it's a good way of mitigating that one person has finished all of their tasks, so they stick to another person like glue. It's yeah, I think it's very clever.
It is very, very clever. I don't know really what else we can talk about with this episode. It's going to be interesting. Should we go straight to the round table, and then after that we'll go to our scores?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good idea.
All right, cool. So we'll go to our round table now. This is also going to include some best bits and some highlights from our little play session. Again, just to go through those people that were in the call at the time, we've got Casterroll, we've got Jim from Casterroll, we've got Discord user Chris, Dan from Casting Views, Jacker from the Anime Corner, Joey, Luke from the Nostalgic Pod, the Northern Boy who's been on here a few times, Satsunami from Chatsunami, Skylar from the Anime Corner, Toaster, Robotic Battle Toaster from Twitch, and myself. We'll be back with our scores because we're going to get the roundtable scores in these clips.
And we're averaging out the roundtable scores for Slade's score, right?
Correct, yeah.
Fabulous.
Try not to die, anyone.
Yay.
See you in the meetings.
What are the controls again?
Joey's gone.
Not me.
I don't know the name, but I saw orange. No, I'm orange. No, it's not. I'm orange. No, ignore that. No, it wasn't me.
I see myself in the mirror.
No, it wasn't me.
I've got download and upload data left, and then that's me done.
I was busy getting confused by a simple game, as Simon says.
Sky's gone.
You killed them.
Right.
They're all
Oh, and Casterroll's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, bugger. So it wasn't orange then?
All right, who found Skylar?
I didn't see any. You did.
Did you see anything or anyone?
No.
See,
I know it wasn't Nerd Luke.
You run.
I've been following them around for a while.
I know you were scaring me. I was just like, is he the killer? He keeps chasing me.
I've been laughing my ass off chasing you.
I've had several crossings
with
with
Luke and
Satsu,
Joker.
and I don't think it's him. And I've walked across Tim several times and stood behind him in the security office. So I don't think it's him either.
No, and I'm not suspicious of Dan. I hung out with him a bit down a corridor.
Yeah.
Don't you worry,
Otherwise-
I'm going to stick on Luke like glue.
Okay, I'm confident it's not Shrimp.
I was just getting to the buzzer in the middle.
I'm a little suspicious of Dan. I saw him dipping in and out of navigation and then dipping in and out of medbay on the CCTV.
Because the door was locked. I couldn't run through a door.
You could run through a door if you tried.
No, there was a door closed. Or was I running into a wall?
I know it wasn't Toaster because I went from Luke to Toaster because they look suspicious.
Yeah, I've been following Shrimp around because I've done all my tasks, and
I'm just running around trying to look busy.
I've been with Shrimp the entire time, and so he couldn't have killed someone. So it's not Shrimp. Who do we think it is? Are you saying Dan?
I'm very suspect of Dan right now.
Me too.
I was in the central room. I was actually
Where
trying
the
to get
body
to
was found.
Yeah, it was
Was the
because I was
body
trying
found
to
in
get
the
to
central
buzzer.
room?
Yeah, I found it.
Well, we know.
I was trying to get to the buzzer. I was shutting by the door, but
I was
you-
following
hold on,
Toaster.
hold on.
Toaster was following Shrimp.
Hold on. You say you're trying to get to the buzzer. You can report on the body.
oh, can you? I just started playing this tonight. I didn't know you could do that.
You're level 11. You didn't start playing this tonight.
Hey!
Damn it, what is an imposter? Tim, I'm sorry I voted for you.
Well,
My
switch
bloodlust
around of
took
Tim
over.
going, I'm fairly confident it's not Dan, to the next round being I'm very suspect it's Dan.
I was a bit. that
Told
was
you
a
I
bit
saw
of a
orange.
stupid move. That was a bit of a stupid move by me. I just,
All right, I'm hoster. I'll put the code in the chat.
You're the host, Toaster.
I am the
That
toast that hosts the most.
I will now
That
follow
was a
Dan
stupid-
around to listen
that
to
was
the
a
next.
stupid move by me. I
I genuinely thought I'd be safe with Dan. I thought I'd be safe. Apparently
I
not.
killed Joey first. I think you were the third kill. I was just getting carried away with it. It was a.
I voted for Tim at the end there because Tim was pushing on Dan really hard, and I thought Dan's too nice to lie and be the killer, but clearly I've been lied to.
My eyes
Look,
rolled
Tim,
back
I'm
when I
sorry.
saw I was the imposter. I thought, no, I've only been it once. I've played for about 2 nights. That's the second time in about 15 games. I didn't know what to do, so yeah, like I said, the bloodlust took over.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Satsu, you're right. The entire time in chat, we were saying that Dan is imposter. And boom!
Hold it.
Oh, I forgot to go in the chat. I'm just sitting there split.
Oh, mighty Scottish podcaster. Who is the imposter this time?
I can't believe I put my foot in it. I saw orange.
I know now I can report on the body. It was in the room on the far left, the empty room. I've forgotten now.
The reactor.
Yeah, far left. It's got all air coming out. I need to pay attention to the map.
No, but I can clear Jack like as not an imposter at all, not just
That's something like an imposter would say.
No, because I saw Pete do the med bay scan, and he saw me do it as well.
Where's all?
I didn't see Joey do that.
Hey, you, Pete. He's the imposter. Kill him now. Vote him now.
Sold.
Jack is the imposter.
I've got to jettison rubbish from the cargo or the storage area if people want to have a look. I can prove my innocence.
Don't need to, it's Pete.
Fuck
you, Pete.
Sorry, Fate.
You was. I hon.
Oh.
Yes.
The plot thickens.
Did one of the oxygen and sabotage thing.
Oh, what was the code you had to type in?
66937, something like that. Is that actually? You can quiz me on that. It definitely had 2 6s, a 3, and a 7. I think it might have been 5.
Wait,
where are the other drugs going?
I was the one that did oxygen. It was 01880.
Yeah, there were 2 panels that you have to interact with. I'm
Yeah.
starting to remember how to play.
666.
Okay, so yeah, we've got 2 people who can give me 2 different numbers. That's good. Please be right. Please be right. Please be right.
God damn it.
Oh,
Nice.
I was going on a killing spree.
Well played, Dan.
Yay.
Again. El Surprise, it was Dan again.
You know.
You can't keep getting away with this.
How you got away with that self-report, Dan? I don't know. That was madness. Oh yeah, I've worked out how to report bodies. Oh yeah. As an FYI, with oxygen, you all have your own unique code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Quizzing people on codes is going to be fucking useless because everyone will have their own unique code.
By that, it's a massive intimidation tactic.
Until someone goes, yeah, my code was ABC139, and then you go,
I'm going to throw it out there. It was probably Dan.
No,
I can clear Dan. I can clear Dan for that kill.
Caster was with me, watching me get scanned.
I watched him do the scan, so I couldn't clear Dan.
There was a lot of stuttering and confusion there, Casterol.
No,
there's no confusion.
It's a very tense situation,
I can clear him for that kill.
Where was the body? Where was the body?
In the corridor just outside of electrical. I was coming back from the lower engine to get to one of the oxygen tanks.
I can clear Toaster for that kill.
Pete and Satsu really just throwing their vote in without.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm rolling a dice and choosing the number.
I'm just skipping to vote. I've just skipped to vote.
Joey. Bye, Joey.
Joey voted for Joey.
It's me. It's Joey.
Joey's jumping on his own grenade.
Alex, where were you?
I was in Shields.
Where's Shields?
Lower right.
Yeah, totally right. I forgot.
Between communications.
I saw shrimp on the cameras, and there's no cameras near Shields.
Oh.
Which way did you leave storage, Tim?
I went left towards the lower engine. I had to do the refuel thing.
Fair enough. I saw Joey on the fuel. I didn't see you on the fuel in storage.
Yeah.
Tim, I didn't see you go there.
Hang on, Tim. How long ago did you do that? Because I literally just left electrical and I did not pass you.
I mean, it was maybe a minute or two before the body was found, I suppose.
So I saw Joey getting fuel from the fuel container, and Tim was in storage running around, and I left to the right to go towards Shields.
Okay. I mean, the next thing on my task was the what's the Simon Says thing in the reactor?
Well, I have to go to reactor anyway, so I can.
This body was because we all ran to comms to do the.
Yeah.
And then I ran back left. I ran back left to go to electrical after that, and the body wasn't there at that time.
In which Tim fixed Tim and Joey before comms went offline. So ignore
Tim
what I
fixed
said.
The
radio.
The comms. I think it's Toaster.
An emergency meeting.
Okay, Tim, what were you doing in reactor?
Body hide.
I was doing the Simon Says thing.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Simon Says thing. The Simon Says thing is in the central console. You were top left.
Yeah, top left's where the button thing is.
That's not the Simon Says.
That is the Simon Says.
No.
It's not Tim, it's
Tim,
Dan.
that's not the Simon Says, Tim.
The Simon Says is the main console.
All right, feel free to live with the imposter, I suppose.
I'll be fine living with the survivors.
If not, I think it's Castor because he didn't go and trigger the thing when it went off.
Yes!
I'm glad my death.
Well done, everyone. Well done.
Thank you so much. Tim, you bastard.
I'm just glad Tim gave me enough time to finish my final task. That would have stressed me out if I hadn't have managed to complete that.
Tim, I was giving you dogs abuse in the death chat.
I trusted you in electrical again, and I was wrong too.
Why does everyone fear me when I walk next to them? Everyone goes.
If you just cut off my task, I will become the imposter.
Oh, damn, he did.
So I found Jim's body in communications, and I saw someone leaving communications, and I'd like to offer that person the opportunity to come forward before I give the accusation on you.
It wasn't me.
I was in admin. I'm sure I saw Luke run past me as I was going in.
I'm pretty sure it's Skylar that I was with again.
Area to weapons, and I was shooting asteroids and weapons.
Satsu, where were you, mate?
I was up in navigation, or kind of that corridor when it got set off.
You mean you were leaving communications where poor old Jim's body was?
No, so Joey has done this before and has thrown innocent people to their death.
Well, Castorol was with me. We were both putting rubbish out of the airlock in the cafeteria and the storage, and then we parted ways. I didn't see him since.
Well, I promise you it's Satsunami, and if it's not, you can vote me out the next round.
We're all voting for Joey.
That's a hell of a contingency.
Yeah. If it's not Satsu, I will push the button myself.
I 100% know who the last person is. It's the one who didn't vote for Joey on the last one, or didn't side with Joey, because they just popped out of event. It was Jacker. Someone just saved my life by finding that body.
So,
I was skeptical of Jacker being the only one who didn't vote with Joey's suggestion on the last one.
Say less, voted.
I'm going to get you next time.
Say less, sister.
I didn't see anything. I was in cafeteria, so I'm skipping because I don't want to falsely blame anybody.
I was doing that Simon Says game, which
if it's not Jacker,
anyone.
Joey, I was looking for you specifically.
Who hasn't voted? Oh, there we go. Pete, you can't skip vote now that everyone knows it's you.
I can skip the vote.
Well done.
Man, that was a bad timed event.
Yeah. Thanks for killing me.
Honestly, the hatred for Bristolians is off the chart right now.
Hold on,
Jack,
sorry.
This is
Luke,
disgusting.
what happened to I'm not going to vote?
Yeah, did you? I'm glad I wasn't the only one that noticed that.
Well, I'm a bit of subterfuge, you know.
Jack, I was like, yeah, someone could clear me for medical. I did the little dance in front of him, and he pulled a gun out, pushed me on the floor, shot me through the head, and it's like, okay.
The only reason you died, the only reason you died was because you did the little dance.
I found a body.
I've got one thing to say. Tim and Skylar are running around together, and considering their history of killing each other, I'm just saying.
With the imposters together.
I don't know who's who, so I
was with Castor.
I have been
We went to the
a crewmate this
reactor.
entire time.
What task have you just done?
I just did the one where I failed it at first because I didn't know what he's doing. You get the thing out the wallet and you punch a code in.
That's fine. I thought you came from a vent near me.
No, I've seen Castorol. I was with him in going up to the reactor.
This map
that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I trust you now.
There's a code on it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very confused.
Yeah, I'll leave it to the other two people to announce they're cleared. I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I am hard cleared.
You've declared that you're clear yourself.
I'm also going to clear myself. So
I'm also clear, by the way.
It's Skylar.
I was going to say, it's Skylar. He hid up at the top and then turned the lights off.
No!
He was standing next to Dan's body.
The lights just turned back on and the body was there.
He was,
a likely
he was
story.
Also hid at the top of greenhouse, behind the little greenhouse thing, and then suddenly the lights went off.
Just trying to navigate this map.
It's Skylar.
It's Skylar. It can't have been the self-report because Tim was on the same side as us when the doors were shut. So he went up to do reactor, so there's no way that he could have killed the person out there because he was on the other side of the doors with us.
Correct.
So it would have been who are the only two people?
So who's not in reactor then? I'm not in reactor because I've just come from admin.
And Satsu.
I am still in reactor.
Satsu?
No, I wasn't in reactor. I saw you guys run by.
I think it's good. I'm going to chuck a vote on. I'm voting Satsu.
Why didn't you go fix reactor?
Why? Because there was 50 of you going through. Come on, man.
One of them will get it.
Yeah.
Oh, please, Red Panda, please. No, don't make me do this.
An old yellow or red panda.
Tim, man.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Get f***, Joey, trying to blame that on me. Yeah,
well
you
done.
clever bastard. I trusted you for several rounds of interrogation.
It did work, Joey. It nearly worked.
Who was it that threw blame on me earlier again?
Sorry, Dan.
Pete killed Dan.
Right, where's the body?
It's
You've
just
done this
above
before, Joey.
Cafeteria. Just above cafeteria. I was in cafeteria with Dan and Pete, and then the reactor went. I finished my task, and when I left cafeteria, Dan was dead.
Okay, well, who's Pete?
Jacker.
Sorry, Jacker.
You keep calling me 5 feet.
Sorry, Jacker.
You've done this before. Kill an innocent. Do it.
I can 100% clear 2 people.
Who?
Find out next time if I survive.
Okay, I'm a bit concerned about Tim, but yeah.
What
do you mean?
But not in the game.
Well,
wow.
You were following me. Instead of going around to the right-hand reactor console, you chased me back around to the left reactor console.
Chased? I went to the left panel thingy. I was just coming back from the lab thing.
But I was
Tim,
in front of you.
You go really brummy when you're lying. So when you went, I was going to the
That's more Dudley.
I didn't do it.
I have a strong suspicion that it's Mr. Tim.
I'm terrified.
I was about to say, is there a possibility that Tim vented to reactor? Because he got there very f***ing quick.
Yes, because I last saw Tim in
Joey saw me
by
running.
Storage. He was by storage with me and
Fixing
Satsu.
wires.
Yeah.
Yep, by wires. I went into storage, the lights went out, so I did a loop around, and I thought, okay, well, there might be a body there. I haven't seen Tim leave. I go back down to where Tim was. There's no Tim to be seen. I go out onto the balcony, walk right, past the vent, and there's the corpse. And yet, I haven't seen Tim leave through the door.
Also, with that reactor, there was 4 of us running up, and then suddenly Tim's in reactor already doing it.
Joey saw me running.
Run
No,
no. I'm not clearing him, but Tim did run. He didn't vent.
I would also question the fact that you just went out to the balcony for no reason. You already went north. The balcony.
How dare you find the body I killed?
Well, the thing is, because when we all ran to the reactor, I stayed on my own in the laboratory, and he had plenty of chance to kill me, but he didn't.
Nah, I'm suspect of toast.
Feel free, but I think it's Tim. It's just him being in reactor doesn't add up. No,
Joey saw me running. What do you want from me?
No, because I came out the decontamination tunnel with Joey and 2 others, and you were not one of them.
No, but he went in before me. I stopped and did my wires task because I thought loads of fuckers.
He had to run really bloody quick then to
He's
get.
an athletic policeman.
Because I ran straight there because that reactor got cooled straight away.
But to go up past me through, past storage, past the vending machine to the junction, back down to the junction, back down to the door through decon and up. That's a hell of a run.
I don't know what to tell you. I did it.
That's some Usain Bolt level right there.
Yeah, consider we're only little
he
jelly
did
things.
used to work at Skechers, so he's got some good shoes on.
I have a question for Skylar. How does it feel being in a room with this many British people?
I'm just getting my notes here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim's frantically writing into AI questions for interview.
No. All right, so we have 5 questions for the whole chat. Number 1, what would you say your overall experience of Among Us is like? I'm going to start with... let's start with Castor Jim.
Oh, what a big one to start with. Yeah, it was pretty decent, wasn't it? Could have done with maybe I could have done with an imposter round, so I could have got a feel for that. But yeah, my experience on the PlayStation was pretty seamless, I guess.
Nice. I take it you've played before.
I've played a few rounds on Game Pass before. I've not played it on PlayStation, but yeah, I've played a few rounds. That was like about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay,
if it's even that old, I don't remember when it came out.
5 years ago.
Was it 5 years ago?
Yeah,
yeah, it's 5.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I played like a few rounds, like back when it first came out, but since then, nothing.
All right, fair enough. To make this kind of easier on me, the edit, what I think I'm going to do is just go through the questions and maybe just aim them at 1 or 2 people, with the exception of the last 2 questions. So I'm going to go to Luke from the Nerdstalgic Pod for what your overall experience of Among Us is like.
Absolutely terrifying, if you want the honest truth. I've never played it before. I've always seen streamers and that play it, so I've always been interested. But this is more of a group game that it's not really fun if you play on your own. But it was a lot of fun. I got to play as the imposter once. I'll tell you what, the bloodlust comes quick. I was like, I can kill people. I was like, I found myself chasing people, trying to scare people. But honestly, a lot of fun. Definitely a game you want to play with a bunch of mates. Mess around. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. And then last one I'll go to for this question is going to be Satsu.
Not gonna lie, I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. pretty fun, yeah. Pretty darn good.
As the one who snuck up behind me and just stabbed me in the back. But yeah, you're betrayed.
Oh, that happened 10 minutes ago. But yeah, no.
I can't.
Oh, but no, pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good being the imposter.
Absolutely. I think that's a proper old thrill. Why do you guys think it became so popular? I'm going to go to Toasty.
So I think it became popular because it was a sort of one of those like lying games where it's like, oh yes, you've got to trust people, but it plays on the old fear that comes from like the Thing, for example, where you have no idea if the person that you're running down the corridor with actually knows what task is going to be done or is an imposter. And the only way you find out is if they run to the wrong control panel. And then they know that you know. And then you get a knife in the back. But I think that sort of risk-reward thing plays into it heavily.
Cool. Alrighty. And then I'm going to turn to the Northern Boy.
Hello. I think it lends itself quite well as a community game, like we've done here. We've just got a load of people together, and I think when it came out, I seem to recall a lot of very big streamers did community days with their Patreon subscribers, the likes, and I think that visibility on it has lent itself really well to this game, and that's why everyone's still playing it 5 years later on, because it's effectively a dumb party game.
Cool. Alrighty.
But it's a fun party game.
Nice. And then I'm going to go to Lovely Dan from Casting Views.
Yeah, I think just echo some of what's said. It's also very quick and easy to get into. So I picked this up. I started playing it 2 nights ago just to get a couple of rounds in. And yeah, you've got the 2 roles. It is quite easy to pick up. Fun. It's not sort of anything too daunting to get into. It's just quick, easy. Especially with this is the first time I've now played it with people I know, I should say. And it's just good fun. Good fun.
Cool. On that note, as a nice segue, what would you guys say makes it fun? I'm going to go to Chris.
The ability to sow the seeds of anarchy.
Yep.
Personally, in my opinion of playing it, I am very much, even when I'm a crewmate, wanting to trigger people into thinking I'm an imposter. I just want to watch the world burn, and that lends into it very nicely. Add random fun token rules, such as first person to speak in a vote. They're the ones I vote for.
On that note, you might have seen the role of the jester in, I don't know if it's a thing in Among Us, but it certainly is a thing in Gmod where your objective is to be voted off.
No, but I am sold on that.
Brilliant. I'm going to go to Skylar.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, what was the question again? I'm trying to pay attention.
What makes this game fun?
Honestly, it's the adrenaline. For me, it's just running around trying to scramble and actually do the things that I'm supposed to do as a crewmate, because I wasn't actually an imposter at all this last several rounds. But the adrenaline of trying to defend yourself, when put on the spot, and also getting tasks done, and also trying to just be alive. I guess it's really hard to do everything at once, and for me, it's just adrenaline the whole time.
Cool. Alrighty. And then lastly, I'm going to go to Pete Jacker.
I just like the fact that you can play this game any way you want. That's what makes it fun for me. You can be as evil as you want, or as crew member as you want, and you can just have fun with it. And you can play it so many different ways every time you play. And with other mods you can download as well, you can make it anything you want now.
Awesome. And then the last thing I want to do here, the second to last thing I want to do. Normally we'd of course have Slade on the episode. He's not going to be there for this one. So what I figure we'd do is go around the group giving you guys scores out of 10 for Among Us, and we'll use that as Slade's score as an average. Nice. So if we start off with Casserole Jim, what would you give it out of 10?
Oh, I'd give it a solid. I'd give it a strong 7.
7. Okay, nice. Chris?
6.5.
6.5, lovely. Dan?
Yeah, I had 7 in my head.
7 as well. Okay, nice.
Yep.
Pete?
Yeah, 7.
7. I think I can see where this is going. Joey will get yours and my score in the kind of post-recording. Luke?
I'd go with an 8.
An 8. Okay, very high. Northern Boy, Alex?
7.5.
7.5, lovely. And Satsu?
Yep, gonna go with 7.5 as well.
Nice. Skylar?
I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Lying to my friends is stressful, but I'd play it again.
Okay, fair enough. And then lastly, Toaster.
I'm going to give it a 10, because if you're playing with a bunch of people you know, it's so fun to try and figure out people's tells. It's a good little investigative game. Which is probably why I'm going to start getting stabbed soon.
And then I suppose, this gives you guys average rating about a 7.2 out of 10. You'll hear mine and Joey's score, and therefore the Game Club's score, I guess, when this episode comes out. But would you guys overall recommend Among Us?
Without a doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, definitely. With a good group of mates, this could be. You could easily just kill an eagle or two with this.
Yeah, goes hand in hand. Okay, and the last thing we should probably do is go around just plugging people's channels, socials, whatever they want to plug. So we'll go in reverse order. If I can start off with Toaster, any socials or any projects or anything you want to plug?
Well, you can find me on Twitch. I'm Robotic Battle Toaster, a variety content creator, and I'm just playing a massive amount of games. I've got a community game night coming up on the 26th. We're going to be playing some 7 Days to Die. Aside from that, big projects coming down the line.
Very exciting. Skylar?
You'll find me at the Anime Corner podcast as part of this group. You'll also find me on Twitter as Skylar_Bun if you just want to follow cute stuff. That's all I repost.
Cool. Okay. Satsu?
Yep, you can find my content over on the Chatsunami podcast at chatsunami.com. and any good podcast app. So yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Northern Boy?
As the forever guest, I will plug the Podpack Collective, where all of us have come from.
Okay, very good point. Very good point. Luke?
I'm Luke from the Nerdstalgic Podcast. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, and all platforms. Just type in the Nerdstalgic Podcast and you'll find me there.
Brilliant. And let's go to Pete.
Hi, just an anime corner and Helldivers. Please play with me.
Dan?
You can find my content at Casting Views across all social media and podcast platforms.
Incredible stuff. Chris, anything to plug?
Yeah, I just need to plug my mobile phone in. It's getting a bit low.
Yeah, cool. Fair enough. And then lastly, Castorol Jim.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, well, X, I guess, at Castorol Pod. Or, of course, you can find the podcast, which is just Castorol on any good podcasting platforms, I guess. So anywhere you get your podcast from, just search Castorol and you'll be able to, every fortnight, hear myself and my two co-hosts just chat a lot of shit, review movies, and try and recast them successfully.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining us, gang. I don't know when the exact date this episode is out, but we'll be sure to tag you guys in when it's there.
Tomorrow.
I'm not sure about tomorrow.
No sleep for the wicked.
I do think we need to do this again, even if we don't record it. Because that was just an absolute laugh.
Yeah, that was amazing for sure.
Chatbox is always a fun one as well for a group of people.
Yeah, Chatbox is fun, but it doesn't have the same panic.
Oh, true.
I don't think it'd work with 12 people either, would it?
I don't think that it would. No, I think there's like a limit of like 5 to 8 normally on the room. I'm going to quickly stop the call recording, and we're back. What an interesting round table that was!
Wow, that was a great 2 hours of round table.
Great 11 hours of editing footage. I thought that was a very, very fun roundtable to do. It was something very satisfying to get a group of people together because, being completely honest, we're probably a little bit late to the mark in covering Among Us.
Oh, yes.
But the fact that we managed to get so many people on board for what is a very small game for even just a couple of hours, it was great fun. We got to...
And there was a lot of people in that call saying that they want to do it again.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, it was great seeing fun dynamics. It was a cool big cross collaboration with a lot of the Podpack Collective guys to really open those doors. But we should probably go to our scores.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to you first, Joey.
Okay. I'm going to give this a saucy 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Yeah. Do you want to give any feedback? Any things you want to change?
Yeah, I think if you have a smartphone, you have access to this game. If you have a laptop, you have access to this game. And if you have any of the consoles that are kind of mainstream ones, Nintendo, PlayStation, or Xbox, you have access to this game. My caveat with my score of 8 out of 10 is you need to play it with people you know, and you need to do it in voice chat, because I've played games with random folk that are just using chat, and it's awful. Like, if we just played with random people on the internet, I would give it probably a 2 out of 10. Because there's something like a real dumb mindset where one person, they call meetings or they report a body and there's no questioning. I don't think people have the time to question, or there's language barriers, or they can't be bothered, or they think it's funny. But you can be on the opposite side of the map and you're red, and then someone goes, it's red, and then everyone immediately votes for you. And it doesn't seem like there's any point in actually playing when you play it with randoms.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 out of 10 with people, 2 out of 10 overall, but the 8 out of 10 is my score. And I recommend for the accessibility of it.
I mean, I'm right there with you in terms of the multiplayer. Like, this is definitely a with friends game. To the point that I've played the randoms thing once or twice.
Yeah,
it's not great.
No,
but it's with friends, amazing. I'm actually also going to give it an 8 out of 10. The only other thing that I would want to fix, please, for the love of God, make it easier for lobbies to work, to actually get the lobby going, because there must have been a point when we were setting up our round table. And this game's been out for 6 years now.
5 years.
No, it came out in 2018.
6 years.
6 years. There was a point when we were trying to set up this lobby where we must have been there for about, half an hour, 40 minutes, just trying to sort technical issues. And we weren't playing with mods. We weren't playing with anything third party other than Discord and the game itself. The lobbies, for some reason, all default to North America, no matter where you are playing from.
Yeah.
The lobby codes often don't work for some reason. I guess if there's too many people trying to join the game at the same time, it just really doesn't like it and will stop anyone from joining for a minute. But then equally, if people are taking too long to join, it'll just close the lobby. Yeah. And then on top of that, there is the issue where if the host drops out, it doesn't migrate to a new host. It just closes the whole lobby.
No, it doesn't. It migrates to a new host.
I thought it kicked everyone out because we tried it when I was hosting.
Nope, and it got moved to one of our PodPack people.
Oh, I just thought they were hosting.
No, they just picked up your host.
Oh, fair enough. All right, but yeah, still some issues with the thing. I think it's a very good game. As I say, absolutely want to play with friends. Like Joey said, if you've got a smartphone, pick it up. It's free, and then you can go home and play it on your console and spend money on Bean Coin or whatever it is that's in the
Bean Coin. Tim, before we move away from finishing the episode, the Among Us community is an interesting one.
Oh my god, it's like they all have brain rot, and I love it. Like you know the thing where it's like orange cats only have one brain cell between them.
No, I've never heard that.
Oh, you're not okay. Well, they do. It's absolute. Everyone in the Among Us community gets one turn on the brain cell. It's not per year. It's just whenever it happens.
Yeah, I also really like their X. Twitter, currently known as X page. Have you seen it?
No.
It's just, it's not a serious one. It's just a post where they call everyone suspicious beans and they post screenshots of electrical on the first map and says, "You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me." And things like it's just really, really, really dumb stuff that I'm such a fan of. And it spawned so many memes. Yeah. Memes that we have used and abused on this podcast. If you remember, during the first ever Podmas, we had a whole round of an Among Us quiz.
Yeah.
Because of that deep-fried Among Us. Tim, do you know what a sussy backer is?
It's a suspect idiot.
Suspicious fool.
There you go.
Which I really like.
Yeah, I really like the Among Us drip meme.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
It's just an Among Us character in some fucking Air Jordans or something
with a baseball cap and his drip.
That's it. But with our scores of my 8, Joey's 8, and Slade's, the round table 7.2, that gives us an average score of 7.73 recurring. With for the first time, 13 recommends.
Very good. Tim, Slade's back next time.
He is back next time. What are we doing?
I have no idea. You've got the sheet open.
You're right, I do. I was kind of hoping you'd have the sheet open too. Join us in 2 weeks' time for South Park, The Stick of Truth.
Ooh, yes. I've played that.
I remember.
Can we just shout South Park memes at Slade the whole time?
Yeah.
Every time anything controversial comes up, we'll just go, Jeez.
Which is something we regularly do in Helldivers anyway.
It is. But if you want to join in and we do because we'll probably do more Among Us nights on the Discord. Just find our Discord. Tim, how can people find our Discord?
Pretty sure it's in our Twitter.
Currently known as X.
Currently known as X, yeah.
I don't know if it is, because I changed it to be a stupid AI.
I mean, I don't have access to our Twitter anymore, so...
Well, that's because you've been a very naughty boy.
I've been a sussy little backer.
Sussy little chungus. No, it's not. There's no mention of it on our...
well, we should probably update that.
Our ex bio is: join the game club as we explore a world of gaming with news, reviews, and discussions. From retro classics to the latest releases, we've got you covered. Pretty generic, isn't it?
Wonderfully generic.
Sounds like it's written by AI.
Who would have thought? All right,
strange.
well, join us in 2 weeks where Slade
Listening
will
to
be.
this.
Slade will be going looking for the imposter, only to become Sussy himself.
Sussy little backer. Right, Tim, see you later.
See you in 2 weeks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.